this up a little bit more to see if I can.
We have treats. Treats because Anna did such a great job today.
I ordered one of my other favorites.
Yeah, normally Anna gets the unicorn.
Yeah.
From Bahama Bucks, but she got the gummy bears today.
It said it was going to be pink, but it's even better. It's purple!
Did it say it was going to be pink?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't remember that. Huh. And you said, what is it? It just tastes like gummy bears? It doesn't have like a flavor, the purple?
Like grape ring?
No, it just tastes like ice.
Like sugar?
Yeah, sugar ice. Maybe they just took ice and they just dyed it to make it look purpley.
It has been a very long day. We were up first thing this morning. Aaron and I got up at 9:30. Anna got up at 10:30. We had to leave the house by noon. Her appointment started at 1. We got out of there at like 5:30.
5:30?
Yeah, 5:30 by the time we really got to the van. And then we had to make some stops, and we just got home, just like, what, 15, 20 minutes ago, maybe. So it's been a very long day. We've been out. And, but it was a good day. It went very well, didn't it? So Anna had her evaluation today. For anyone who's not been around and not been keeping up, she had an evaluation today because at the kind of the end of last year, beginning of this year, Aaron and I started having some concerns about some of Anna's behaviors, both with us at home and socially, and I started to realize, because my son was diagnosed with Asperger's back when they still diagnosed it as Asperger's. He was diagnosed when he was 8 years old, almost 20 years ago now, right? And so I started to realize when Aaron and I were talking about these behaviors that we were noticing in Anna, both social and at home with us, that they were very similar to some of my son's behaviors. And I started doing some research and looking up and finding out that autism is very much hereditary. I did not know that before this year. And B, girls present very differently than boys when they have autism. And a lot of girls go undiagnosed because they are better at masking their behaviors and kind of fitting in, mimicking what they figure out is socially appropriate.
Yeah.
Chameleons.
Yeah, they're much better at that than boys are. So that's what kind of led us into this journey of exploring the possibility, and kind of the more we learned about it, the more we're like, oh, well, that makes sense. That's Anna in so many ways. And so over the course of this year and continuing interactions and continuing research and keeping an eye on things, we decided that it was probably advantageous to have an evaluation done, which happened today. Today it was a very long day. We were there all day. She tested for almost 5 hours. I had no idea that they were going to do an IQ test. That was a surprise. It was the very first thing. It was a bonus. It was the very first thing they did. And the reason why we say it was a bonus is because Anna had an IQ test and a full cognitive evaluation done when she was 2.5. And she was found at that time to be profoundly gifted. But the doctor did say, like, look, she's 2.5 and you will want to get this redone after she's 5 because it can change. There's like 15 points of standard deviation. So it could go up 15 points. It could go down 15 points. And she said that typically it will go down a little bit as they get older. And that's the same thing the doctor said today, that yes, I saw her evaluation from when she was 2.5, but typically we will see that number go down a bit. And that's what everybody was expecting when we found out today in the office that there was going to be an IQ test. That is not what happened with Anna. It actually went up about 14 points. So that was a real shock. Yeah, I mean, it doesn't matter. It's smart. We know that you have that level of giftedness.
So it's like 50 something?
we've already been working with figuring out how to adjust your curriculum, right? Adjust, we're homeschooling already. I've been a member of gifted children's groups for many years. Been keeping an eye on that part of Anna since she was a baby. I knew from the time she was 3 weeks old that there was something super special about her intelligence level. And so I have been working my butt off to keep up with that side of things and make sure that she's got all the opportunities and everything available to her. But that was a surprise. That was a surprise today. And the nice thing, like I said, why we call it a bonus, because we didn't know it was happening, is I have been wanting to get Anna involved in this program called Davidson Scholars since she was like 5 years old. It's an amazing program for gifted children, and you have to test into it. And so now we have that documentation, or we will have it once we get the report back. We have that documentation to support that, and she will be able to, if they accept her, be a part of that program. So that's really exciting. Anna, do you want to tell everybody, though, about the rest of the day? Like, that was the first thing they did. And you could tell them what that was like, too. But, yeah, Anna can tell you guys all about her evaluation today. What did they do?
Well, I ate. Yes.
Okay, well, let's be polite about it. You could take a couple bites here and there, but focus on your story.
Yeah, so it started out with us driving there. And when we got there, we went down the hallways and we went to the room that we were going to be in. And we waited about like maybe 10, 15 minutes. And then finally she came over and locked the door and we went in. So we sat down on the little couch there. And she was like, she told us like the entire plan and what was going to be going on. And then after that, we, me, Jameli, and Stacy, which was the girl, we went in there and we did the IQ test. And that started out with us like, what picture doesn't belong? So she showed me like a whole bunch of pictures and I was like, which one doesn't belong? So it'd be like 3 circles, another circle, and then a triangle. And I'd have to say, okay, the triangle doesn't belong because the rest are circles. Like that. And then it was kind of like, I'm going to show you this picture. Now I'm going to flip the page. Which picture that I should show you? Then we talked about stuff like we did some analogies, and we also did. She asked me questions, and I had to answer them. Yeah, kind of like what walks on 4 legs and purrs. Like she would ask me something like that, and I'd be like cat. Because that's it.
Did it get harder and harder and harder as it went on?
Yeah. It starts off easy, and then it got harder and harder.
Right. So that was the IQ portion. And then after the IQ test, what did she do? What did they do?
After the IQ test, I had a little snacky.
Mm-hmm.
And then another girl came in, and she did like my academic stuff, like math and reading and writing and all that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So she started off with, I think it was writing. Yeah, writing. And she told me like words, and I'd have to spell them. So like spelling. And then after that, we did math.
Mm-hmm.
And she set the timer for like 15 minutes, and I had to do as many problems as I could.
Mm-hmm.
After that, we did like, I think, if I remember correctly, we did some more like picture stuff. I don't remember exactly what, but we did more picture stuff. And then after that, what we did is, this is a long story. What we did is we did some like, I don't know how to really explain it, but it's like,
like what?
I don't know.
Okay, well, it's okay. You don't have to explain every detail.
Well,
Let's move on to the next part that you remember.
Yeah. And then, so after that, we did the other thing that I don't remember. And then after that, we did like more reading stuff. And what we did was she read me a story, and I'd have to answer questions about it. And we did that, and then the other girl came back into the room and she set up a little laptop, and I had to click a button whenever I saw the screen like flash.
So but you did the academic portion was, you said reading, writing, math?
Yeah.
And then this is a different part, right? The computer button pushing thing.
Yeah.
That was a whole new test.
Yeah.
And what do you have to do for that one?
Okay, so that one, it shows like, it flashes a square on the screen, and it shows like a white square with a black square either at the top or the bottom of the white square. So when the black square is at the bottom of the white square, you do not push the button. But when it's at the top of the white square, you do push the button. And I did that. It took about 20 minutes, maybe 25 minutes. And then after that, we just talked.
Right.
Yeah. About things and stuff.
Yeah, the whole last like half hour, 40 minutes was...
And then...
Well, it wasn't, you didn't just talk. There was very strategic. What things did you do during the talking portion?
She asked me, like, what I wanted to be when I grew up, and we did a little play with her stuffed manatee and a strawberry. Yeah, and then we talked about my Play Life podcast, and then we did like a picture, and she had to give me a little pawn, and I could like move me around as like I could make a little story, like a trip to Florida, and then after that we read a book, but it was mostly pictures. It kind of showed you what time it was, but it mostly showed pictures, and I had to make up what was happening, kind of. What happened with the flying frogs, and flying pigs.
Yeah, so it was pretty extensive, right? We were there for a long time. You did tests, but did you have fun? You enjoyed it?
I had so much fun.
That's good.
It wasn't boring at all?
You never got bored?
Not one bit.
Nice.
And then, but the best part was after we did everything, I got some treasure.
You did. You got to pick out some little toys
Did you bring that in?
for doing a good job, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, she did great. I mean, Anna has always loved testing. Even when she did the cognitive testing when she was 2.5, she sat through, it was 3 hours of testing, like 2.5, 3 hours. And she was 2.5 years old, and she sat through it intently with no problem. She's always loved. You told me this morning when we got to the appointment why you loved testing, and what did you say was the reason? Why do you love?
I just feel excited.
You feel excited about testing?
Yeah.
But you said why? Do you remember what you said about why you love it? I kind of remember.
I didn't.
You said something about you like to see how good you can do.
Yeah, I like to challenge myself.
Yeah. She really loves challenging herself. So, the doctor, when she was doing, Anna talked about the 4 different sections of this evaluation that she did today. And those were very, that's Anna's No, there's 4. There was the IQ test, there was the academic test, there was the computer test, and there was the social evaluation at the end. So it was 4 sections. And the doctor also did some social evaluation at the beginning. She also had all of the paperwork from the tests, the quizzes that Erin and I had to take ahead of time. And she came out and talked to Erin and I about halfway through the evaluation because she had already had a few experiences with behaviors in the first half of the testing when she was doing the first part of the testing. And she came to let us know, what happened with the IQ test as well. But then talked to us more about what we were experiencing at home, what we've been noticing, family history, stuff like that. And so I think that, I see a lot of people who every time we've talked about this, The vast majority of you are super supportive, and I want to thank you, like incredibly emotionally thank you for being so supportive of us on this journey and trying to figure this out, because, it's not like this isn't a bad thing in any way. We're not, upset about this whole process, but it is emotional, and it's really nice to have the support of you guys, understanding that we're doing what we need to do to make sure that we're doing what's best for Anna. A lot of people, comment and say that there's no way. I just saw someone a little bit ago say she's too intelligent. And that kind of hurts my heart a little bit, that people out there truly believe that people with autism are not intelligent, when, as a matter of fact, traditionally it's the opposite, that some of the smartest people in the world are all autistic. Your Albert Einstein, Steven Spielberg, Michelangelo. I mean, who else? More current people.
Dan Aykroyd, Anthony Hopkins, who else? Daryl Hannah. There's quite a few people.
Yeah, that's one of the markers of autism, is super high intelligence.
It's like a symptom of autism.
And it, and then I have a lot of people combating, the fact that, well, she doesn't stim, or she doesn't act up, or she communicates so well, she can't possibly be autistic. And again, I want to make sure everyone there's 1,400 of you here right now, listen to my words. That is not you can't say, oh, because this child communicates, they don't have autism. It doesn't work that way. It's a spectrum, and there's varying degrees of affectedness, just like with her arthrogryposis. And you can put 5 kids next to each other with autism, they're not going to present the same way. So I want you guys to take a good look at this super, intelligent, happy, resourceful, all the things that Anna is. This is what autism looks like. This is what autism can look like. Anna has autism.
Also, you only see 2 hours of her day. So the rest of the time you don't see, I could be acting up, or I could not be very communicative.
And I knew she did. I knew in my gut, because of my son. I knew after looking into it earlier this year, I knew it to be true. But I wanted to make sure. And that's why we went and had the evaluation. And this is who she is. It's part of who she is. And she's still the same person, and she's still wonderfully articulate, and she's still wonderfully and incredibly intelligent. And she's still charming, but she has certain behaviors and nuances to her personality that, she doesn't recognize some things socially. She has definitely instances of getting overwhelmed by sounds and by textures and by just overstimulated. There's a lot of things that you guys have to remember. You don't live with her. You don't see her every moment of the day like we do. And so
she processes things differently. I mean, that's what it comes down to.
Yeah. So the doctor sat down with us, like I said, about halfway through, and she went over all of the graphs and charts that she had already compiled. She went over the IQ test. She went over everything that she experienced in that first couple of hours with Anna. And she said she is absolutely textbook female autism. Stereotypical female autistic. Anna fits the bill. So she's definitely getting that diagnosis, as well as maybe a couple of other nuanced things. She's going to write up a whole report. There's a whole entire report coming in the next couple of weeks. So, I just want to stress again to all of you people who are saying, no way, no way, no way. Please stop. Please stop thinking that you know everything about autism, because the medical professionals have just started learning how to diagnose female autism just in the last 5 to 10 years. So you are not a medical professional, you can't possibly know what you're talking about, and you can't think that there's only one or two ways to figure out if someone has autism. Anna is autistic. She also has arthrogryposis. She's also very gifted. And none of that makes her any less valuable of a person. She's freaking amazing. She's always going to be amazing. And this diagnosis is going to allow us, especially the breakdown of the evaluation and looking at the different specific social things and the lifestyle things that the doctor outlines in the evaluation. Those things are going to help us tailor our teaching with Anna going forward so that she can learn some of those mannerisms that she's missing, some of those social mannerisms and the typical proper like responses to social interactions and how to better emotionally regulate herself. There's so much value that's going to come out of this evaluation for her going forward. It's going to make it, it's really like an outline for us to better serve her so that she can be better prepared for relationships when she's grown, for work, for being out in the world, friendships. Yeah, it's huge. This is huge. So all good news today. Very, a big sense of relief, really, to have it done and know like what exactly we're working with. So, and Anna's content. She's not at all bothered or upset or disturbed, or she feels, do you feel the same way you did yesterday? You're still the same, Anna? Yes.
With more understanding that I have autism?
Yeah. More understanding is always better, like I said in the post this morning. And I really hope that, I really encourage some of you with these kind of outdated understandings of autism. I really encourage you to, maybe explore it further just for
updates,
just for fun, just to kind of, make sure that you're up and up on the new. I actually have this book here. This is the book that the doctor who evaluated her today, she recommended this to me. It's on Amazon. I haven't made it very far into it because I have a hard time finding leisure time, but so far it's been really, really good. And I trust her that she said it's one of the best books out there right now. So I'm excited to read through that and learn more about how to support my child. I also, if you guys have been following along for a while, then you probably know that I am also very likely autistic, and I don't have a diagnosis yet either. I do have an appointment for an evaluation in November. So if we can swing that, I have to save up for it. I will be able to get that, and same thing, kind of know, but looking back at my childhood and my behaviors that are so similar to Anna and my son Austin, it all makes sense. And Aaron sees it every day. So, a lot of you guys, or not a lot, but some of you guys, when I'm talking to you, when I'm responding to comments, you ask me questions and I simply respond to your question, just straight up response. Like you may ask me like, well, what can they do about Anna's arms? And I say, well, nothing. There's nothing that can be done right now. We've done everything we can. She's done all the OT. There aren't any surgeries coming up. And I simply type that response out just as if I were saying it to your face. And then people come around and say, well, you're so rude and aggressive. I'm like, what are you talking about? I was simply answering a question. So I don't have those same, I can kind of relate to Anna in the social cues aspect of things, because I don't do, like, I'm not going to take the time to like put a bunch of smileys and rainbows and be all nice. Like, I'm just answering your question,
Just giving information.
Yeah, I'm giving information. It's not I don't know. I don't really know what other people do, I guess.
Giving information. You're not trying to defend yourself by giving information.
Yeah, it's just very apparent in our day-to-day life, and
It's a little neurodivergence.
It's funny how many people who only, watch us a couple hours a day think they know better than we do what we live 24/7. So yeah, that's, if you have any questions about that, I really hope this helps some people who, maybe think that they might be on the spectrum or be neurodivergent or want to look into this stuff further. Like, you don't, even if you can't go get a full evaluation, there's so much information online. There's so many websites and so many support groups and so many books, excuse me.
So many shows.
Where you can educate yourself about it and learn more. But I just really hope this helps people realize that, autistic doesn't always look like hand flapping and nonverbal communication. That's not very nice. Do you remember? You probably don't remember. I know someone else who did that when mocking someone with arthrogryposis. It's not nice.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Thank you.
No, just do this right now.
So yeah, it doesn't look like how a lot of people think. Case in point. and you guys don't see every moment of our day. We see a lot of Anna gets very frustrated when routines are changed even a little bit.
I hate it.
And she has meltdowns sometimes over that, and it's very hard to redirect her. What are some of the, just because I know people are always asking, well, what signs does she have? So we've got the her social emotional reaction to things, like where typically a child her age would be really excited and jumping around and like woohoo, she doesn't have that. And she doesn't really pick up on that energy either.
Like she's happy. It's just like she's not like all over the place.
Mm-hmm, right. She's not all over the place happy, and it's a kind of muted reaction, which is, just like I said, the lack of picking up on like typical social response.
I actually think it's a good thing.
You do?
Yeah. Because if I did do that, I'd be probably doing it all the time. Every time something cool happened.
Mm-hmm.
I'd be like, I'm so happy.
Yeah. She can be very, so our Patreon members have probably seen it a lot more in her, where she'll be talking, she'll be in a group of people talking about something, and someone in the group will bring up another topic or start a conversation about something that they want to talk about. And Anna will kind of like, as soon as they're done talking, she will abruptly go back to what she wants to talk about. So she doesn't really get the like ping pong back and forth of social interaction and conversations. And so that's one thing that we're going to work on. That's one thing that we definitely want to spend some time on in teaching her, how that works and what the expectations are there. Hey, Anna, what were the other things that we talked about in the van on the way home about? I know that the main thing was like social interaction. Oh, emotional regulation.
Emotional regulation. That's right.
We'll work some more on emotional regulation and the lifestyle stuff that the doctor brought up, of just like and some understanding of how your behaviors affect other people around you. Amy says, will the diagnosis change your style of teaching now? Wait, did I read that right? Hold on, sorry, it jumped. Will the diagnosis change your style of teaching a little now? Got it. I don't know. She's not affected intellectually. So I don't think it needs to change my style of teaching. There may be some parts where communication, like in order to, or actually probably honestly, the biggest part in teaching where it may need to change is her like self-regulation. She's pretty good about sitting down and working for an hour or so, like by herself without needing to be redirected. But sometimes you get off task, don't you? And so maybe figuring out how to monitor that, or how to give her a way to self-monitor, right? Because we want her to be independent. She's going to be 8 years old. And so at this point, by the time your child is turning 8, the goal is to, continue to teach independence and teach them how to recognize things in themselves and how to make the decisions to kind of alter the direction themselves.
My tag is poking me.
So that's what we're going to be working towards.
Can you please fix my tag? It's attacking me.
The tag is another tactile issue that she definitely, overstimulation. Tags are problematic.
Just rip it out.
No, we're not going to rip it out right now. Just stay calm. We're going to say goodbye to everyone in just a minute. I'm just trying to see if there's any questions that I can answer. Yes, Anna does love her daddy. Pat says, I cut my tags off. Yeah, I typically pull them out. I typically pull her tags out so they're not an issue for her. What are some other things that sticky things on her hands really bother her?
Or anything on my hands, like food.
Yeah. What other things really kind of make you feel like the same way as tags and stuff on your hands? Oh, when her seam on her socks touches her toes.
I hate that.
She can't deal with that. The book, Linda, this is, you can find this on Amazon. Go ahead, take a screenshot now if you're interested. It's very easy to find. Just Google, "Is this autism?" It'll come right up.
3, 2, 1. Okay.
Yeah, you can find it.
Take a screenshot.
Kathy says, I hate tags too, Anna.
Run team me. Yay! What about you?
So, yeah, I mean, that's pretty much, it's been a long day. We do need to go because we've got to finish Anna's project for history tomorrow yet.
I totally forgot about it. And I have the flex math.
And she's got a math session to rewatch yet before she goes to bed. So, I guess we need to go for right now, but hopefully, I don't know, hopefully this information helps people somehow. And you probably won't see a lot of change on your end in watching our videos because you guys didn't even know to begin with that there was an issue. So I imagine most of the areas where there will be changes on our end will also be the times that we're not live. But we're definitely open and willing to talk about it. And, we can share what we know. That's kind of what we do.
We can chat about it tomorrow if you
Yep.
want to.
We can chat about it. We can try to help raise awareness for autism and what autism can look like, just like we raise awareness for arthrogryposis.
I have an idea.
What?
Maybe for one of tomorrow's lives, me and you could read that book to them.
Oh, no, this is probably kind of a dry read for a live stream. But I think if people are interested, they should definitely get themselves the book. So, all right, we're going to go. We're going to say goodnight for now. We're going to go get some more stuff done. But thank you guys again for all your support. I loved reading your comments on the post from this morning. Super, super loving, super supportive. And yeah, we'll talk to you guys soon. It was a good day, yeah?
Yeah, it was an amazing day.
Bye, everyone.